Doroshka, an off and on competitor for the Belarus team, and he'll get things underway and warmed welcomely by the crowd in Khanty-Mansiysk, currently ranked 60th in the overall World Cup, his best finish on the year, a 21st in the sprint in Canmore. Trying to do a little better today. Number 2, Alexei Slepov, the first of the Russian quartet to start today. Slepov has a 4th in a sprint in Polk-Luka. That's his best performance ever, and that happened earlier in the season. Slepov starting fast. We'll be getting time checks at the 1.8 kilometer mark. It's three times a 3.3 kilometer loop for a total of 10 kilometers. The sprint really, as Ole Einar Bjørndalen called it, the true race of biathlon, of balancing speed and accuracy. Dominic Londertinger, silver medalist from the World Championships. It's his only podium this season, despite being ranked 12th. But he got it where it mattered at the World Championships in Oslo. And Tim Burke from the United States, next to start. Currently ranked 18th. Only American ever to win or wear the World Cup overall leaders bib. He did that back in 09 and 10, where he led twice in the yellow bib going into the 2010 Olympics in Vancouver. Burke, when he's got the ski speed and he puts it together on the range, is always a threat for a podium. And now you're going to hear a large roar as one of Russia's best shots at the podium hits the course. Number 5, Yevgeny Geranichev. Geranichev makes his home in Tumen, site of next year's World Cup finale. Has 2 podiums this season, twice 3rd. Once in the sprint in Polk-Luka and in the mass start in Ruhpolding. Geranichev very slight in stature, but flies across the snow. Very dynamic skier, fun to watch. A very fun biathlete to watch. He's so dynamic in the way that he performs, and he's really great in the mass start and pursuits. Comes in with a lot of bravado in the shooting range. Sometimes he's successful, sometimes he's not, but you always know you're going to get a great performance and a shot, a true shot at trying to win from Geranichev. Stefan Wiesner hit the course for Switzerland in the break there, but now Benedikt Doll, currently ranked 11th, 25 years of age, from Hinterzarten, Germany. German fans here in the stands. Doll, not the prettiest of technical skiers, but he's effective, he's fast. Got great fitness, lots of power. On a day that it's going well for him, he can be the fastest skier in the field. Number 8, the bronze medalist having a breakout year, Sergei Semenov. Ranked just 24th, but that bronze medal at the World Championships, such a big deal for the Ukrainian men's program. Semenov, he puts the skiing together like he did in Oslo. Definitely has a shot at the podium with some clean shooting today. Andres Rosaguyevs, 4 times 4th place, never been on the podium. Trying to get his first today. He's very fast on the skis. Has nearly a handful of 4th places, twice 5th, 3 times 6th, but never on the podium. Can he do it today? Rosaguyevs really comes down to the standing shooting. He's a 92% prone shooter, which is spectacular, among the best in the world, but at standing just 72%, and that's where it comes apart. Has to learn how not to think when the podium is on the line. The skiing, never a question. You can see he's dynamic, he's fast. We'll be checking the time at 1.8 kilometers. After the first shooting, then 5.1 kilometers, and after the second shooting, and at the 8.4 kilometer mark. Slepov now leading Doroshka by a solid 6.2 seconds at the 1.8 kilometer mark. Simon Eder takes the start for Austria. Eder ranked 4th in the world right now. He does a lot of that on the back of fast shooting and clean shooting. He's an 88% shooter from both prone and standing. But what's really amazing about Eder is how fast he does it. Landertinger, strong Austrian squad, finished 4th in the team relay. He's tied with Slepov at the 1.8 kilometer mark. So a good start for Landertinger early in the start order. The real surprise of that World Championship relay ahead of Austria was Canada. 4 starters on the start for Canada today. The Gao brothers, Nathan Smith, Max Davies. Tim Burke now leading, showing good form at 3.8 seconds in the lead over Slepov of the first 4 starters. So Burke with a relatively quick start, but lots of competitors still to come. Back out on the course, Evgeny Garanichev. Time to beat right now with just skiing, no shooting yet. That of Tim Burke, 421.7. And Garanichev's a good sign for that Tim Burke is flying, because Garanichev, who starts normally very fast, is 4.8 seconds back. So Garanichev just in 4th now after 1.8 kilometers. Again, 87 starters on the field. Sprint competition, obviously, competing against the clock. 1 athlete every 30 seconds. This sets up the pursuit for tomorrow. Number 15 next to start, Jan Savitsky of Kazakhstan. Currently ranked 51st in the world. Back out on the course now. Just getting a sense of how the athletes are skiing. Serafin Wiesner eclipses the time of Burke. Benedict Dole will come through. Good enough for 3rd at the moment, 3 seconds back of Wiesner. Krasimir Onev of the Bulgarian squad. Onev and Vladimir Ilyev, absolutely world-class athletes. Very fast on the skis. Never a podium for Onev. He's been 4th last season in the mass start in Oberhof, but no podiums to date. But one man who has had his share of podiums right here, Tarje Boo, currently ranked 5th in the overall World Cup standings, had what might be considered a disappointing World Championships for him, despite having a gold medal in the relay. Individually, no medals though. But won a gold in the mixed relay and the relay. Rostroguev's flying on the course, 4.2 seconds ahead of Wiesner. And then you have to wonder, is he starting too fast? We know Rostroguev starts fast and throws it all out there in the prone position to see if he can do it. Next to start, number 18, Alexei Volkov of the Russian team. Has 1 podium this season, the very first competition of the season in the individual. He was 3rd. His teammate now, Slepov, on the shooting range. Doroshka was clean. Stood at 8:43.4, the time to beat. 1 miss for Slepov. Oleander Bjorndalen now starting. Bib 19. A miss for Slepov. That'll put him in 2nd, certainly, as Doroshka was clean from the prone position. Now the shooting of Landertinger. He's got a lot of time. 8:43, the time to beat of Doroshka. Tim Burke in the range as well. Landertinger's 4 for 4. Landertinger's perfect. Should overtake Doroshka. Tim Burke with 43 seconds to shoot and get out of there. Burke, a good prone shooter. Stronger of the 2 positions for him. .91% prone shooter on the season. Burke is clean. Should take the lead from Landertinger at 8:38. Landertinger leads now at 8:38.1. Then Garanichev comes in to shoot as Simon Schempp leaves the start. Burke, the new leader, by 5.7 seconds over Londertinger. A good start for the American. Garanichev now not skiing as fast as Burke and starts with a miss. So Garanichev, 2 misses, and that just about does it for him. Should not figure into this competition based on the ski speed of Burke and the 2 misses of Garanichev. It's going to be very hard indeed for him to get back in the race. So Garanichev, disappointing start for Russia so far. Slepov with a miss, Garanichev with 2. And it's Burke from Londertinger early in the going. There you see the misses from Garanichev, both of them right at 3 o'clock. Maybe a little slight wind coming left to right. Now Benedict Dole, he's got a good time. About par with Burke. Burke was settling down to shoot at about 7:57. So Dole about 5 seconds back, but you can make up some of that time with fast setup time. Dole with 1 podium. The mass start, he was second. Canmore shooting fast. Chance to take the lead from Burke. Dole is clean and quick. Going to be close between Dole and Burke as Andrei Moravec starts for the Czech Republic. 8:33.8 the time to beat. Dole is going to be outside that time, but just by 1.2 seconds. So Burke and Dole leading early. Semenov now. Let's watch the time. Burke was laying down at about 7:58. Semenov way off the ski time. He's a fast shooter. Semenov. Clean, but he's going to be outside the times of Londertinger. Won't be in the top 3. He's beat 4th, 8.5 seconds back in. Rostroguyev is flying. Throwing absolute caution to the wind is Rostroguyev. He had a fast start. He's leading by 3 seconds over Arne Pfeiffer right now at 1.8 kilometers, and he shoots clean. And he should be inside the time of Burke, and he is. 3.8 seconds in the lead is Rostroguyev. So it's back to the shooting range now. Andreas Rostroguyev, the leader after prone in the early going. Still just 10 competitors in the shooting range. Number 11 comes now, Simon Eder. Slower to the shooting setup than Rostroguyev and Burke at 8:08 as he lays down, but he can make up most of that time right here. He's so fast to the first shot. And there's a miss for Eder. Slows it down. Two misses for Eder, very uncharacteristic, and he leaves disappointed as Eder will not figure into today's sprint podium. Vladimir Ilyev of Bulgaria now, one of the 2 strong Bulgarians. Onev already on course. Martin Fourcade, watching the developments out on the course. Right now it's Rostroguyev from Burke. Anton Shapulin will get ready to go, and he's on course. Crowd loves it. Pfeiffer with a good time now, already shooting at 8:07. Skiing among the leaders. Perfect shooting for Pfeiffer. Can he take down the time of Rostroguyev? That time, 8:30 even. And I think Pfeiffer may just do that. It's going to be close. Pfeiffer leads by 4 seconds, so it's Pfeiffer, Rostroguyev, and Burke separated by 7.8 seconds among the early favorites. Still many of the best in the world to go. Quentin Fillon-Maillet is the next. Bib 30. Fillon-Maillet, 2 podiums on the year. He's currently ranked 10th. He'll be followed up by Maxim Tsvetkov. 24 years of age from Vologda, Russia. Svetkov, one of the younger Russian competitors, a star for the future, indeed, for sure for the Russians at 24. A great relay competitor as well. They like to go to Svetkov for the relay. The Russians do. 86% prone shooter, 85% standing shooter. Perhaps he can exercise the shooting demons that the Russians are having today. Not a great shooting performance by the home team. Number 16 now. Anev. And he's skiing fast. Laying down to shoot at 8:06. Not quite as fast as Pfeiffer, Rostoguyevs, or Burke, but still well among the leaders. Going to take clean shooting though. Time ticking away now for Anev. He's outside the time of Pfeiffer already. A very methodical shooting for Anev, but that's going to cost him the lead as Taryabu lays down at 8:06. Taking it cautiously. There's a miss. Boo had the skiing. Was not going to take the lead even clean, but with a penalty now, he's got to pick up the pace. Many athletes start a little bit slower and pick up the pace as the race goes well. As Eric Laser leaves the start order. Start gate bib 34. He has one victory on the year, a spectacular win in Ruhpolding in the mass start earlier this year. An emotional win for Laser. Alexei Volkov now, number 18. Can he hit some shots for Russia? But his ski time is way off the time of Pfeiffer, Rostoguyevs, and Burke, as he lays down at 8:21, nearly 30 seconds slower than Burke and Rostoguyevs. But he's a crack shooter, is Volkov. They go to him in the relay, often at the start leg, just because he is such a good shot. And just like that, he's clean. So the Russians have a clean shooter, but it's their slowest starter, Volkov. Bjorn Dahlen's on the range wearing bib 19. We'll get Bjorn Dahlen's time as Volkov comes through the time check in 9th, 22.8 seconds out. But Pfeiffer, Bjorn Dahlen, or Rostoguyevs and Burke will take the time of Bjorn Dahlen, and a miss for Bjorn Dahlen. So could this be a day for an upset from the top of the world order? Right now it's looking that way as Latvia, United States, and Germany lead after prone. Now Simon Furcade, the older of the Furcade brothers, and he starts with a miss. So Pfeiffer, Rostoguyevs, and Burke all with a chance here. 2 misses now for Simon Furcade. Things not as they normally go here in Khanty-Mansiysk, as most of the favorites have a penalty. And Rostoguyevs continues to lead, or continues to follow Pfeiffer. Rostoguyevs leaves at the 5.1 kilometer mark, halfway around the loop by 9.3 seconds over Burke. Burke in the shoot now as Schemp could take the lead. Schemp with perfect shooting, 8:26 the time of his teammate Pfeiffer, so the German's going well today. Burke is 3 for 3 in standing, and there's a miss. 9 for 10 for Burke. It was probably going to take perfect shooting to get on the podium, but he should be the early leader, trying to challenge the time of Rostoguyevs, who started behind him. Rostoguyevs wearing bib 9. Arndt Pfeiffer leads after prone, and Schemp moves ahead of Burke with clean shooting. So it's Germany, Latvia, Germany after prone position. Burke sitting in 4th. Tim Burke trying to light up the Americans' efforts here. After shooting 2, still yet to leave the penalty loop is Burke. Londertinger was perfect, and Burke falls 18.8 seconds to second place behind Londertinger, who was clean. We didn't see the shooting of Londertinger. Now Benedikt Doll, who has caught Evgeny Garanichev. There you see Tim Burke in the background heading back out on the final loop. It's going to need every ounce of energy he can, set himself up well for the pursuit. Doll now is running 5th after prone, just 9 seconds out. They're going to give us Garanichev though. There's Doll in the upper right-hand corner. He's nearly a minute up on Garanichev in the main shot. As you see the 2 penalties from Garanichev. But Garanchev's clean from the standing. Dole has a miss. Could very well flip the cards here for Dole as Garanchev leads the range. Dole has one miss on the day, even with Burke. We'll find out where those two stack up after the second shoot. Garanchev with 2 misses on the day. They both came from the prone position. He'll pass the penalty loop as Dole goes in. Garanchev, 17:22 is the time to beat. He's only good enough for third position at 55 seconds back to Dominic Lonnertinger. Burke sitting in second. And now, the best in the world. Wearing the red and yellow bibs. Red for the Sprint Cup, yellow for the overall. Semenov of Ukraine back on the shooting range. He's got a miss. Should not contend with Lonnertinger. May have a shot at Burke. And here's Rostrogulyev's clean shooting. 17:22 the time to beat. Clean shooting could put him in the lead. But there's a miss. Rostrogulyev's famous for starting fast. One miss for Rostrogulyev's. He's skiing well. Should figure into the top 3 in the early running. It's Dominic Lonnertinger leading after prone. Pfeiffer leads after standing, I should say, for Lonnertinger. Lonnertinger in 6th after prone, but clean from standing. Leads the race as Semenov moves into 4th behind Tim Burke. Kritzmar now of Czech Republic. Outside the times of the leaders, and a miss puts him further out. Into the shooting range comes Anton Shapulin. Let's see his time. A little bit of wind. Shapulin out on the course. Not a very competitive ski time for Shapulin. Shapulin's 3 for 3. He accidentally ejects around and puts it back in manually. Seconds he can't afford to lose at this point, but Shapulin can pick up the pace on the skis. He's outside the time of the top 3 already before he's left the shooting range. Russian's not skiing very well today. Now the shooting of Pfeiffer, the leader after prone. Pfeiffer's 3 for 3. 23 seconds back is Shapulin. Get the time of Pfeiffer. Oh, he's perfect! 10 for 10 for Arne Pfeiffer. 17:22.5 the time to beat of Lonnertinger. And Pfeiffer should be well inside of that as he comes towards the time check after standing. Pfeiffer will take the lead at 11.7 seconds over Dominic Lonnertinger. Rostrogulyevs of Latvia running 3rd. Dole for Germany 4th. Burke a 1/10 of a second behind Dole in 5th. Here's Svetkov. Shooting fast. All the Russians outside on the ski times. Could be a ski issue for the Russian team. Their shooting woes have gotten better though. As Svetkov comes to the time check after prone in 10th position, 18 seconds out. So Arne Pfeiffer leads at both the prone and standing shooting time splits. He's got an 11.7 second lead over Dominic Lonnertinger, and he's going to need every second he can because Martin Fourcade is already on course. Max Davies now for Canada. His time is good. Fast shooting though, clean shooting is going to be required for him to be among the leaders. Davies with a miss. So the young Canadian, Max Davies, father was the organizing committee chair of the World Cup in Canmore. Back to the shooting now of Eric Laser. The Germans are skiing and shooting well. A an enchanted day for the German team. Laser won't take the lead, but he'll be among the leaders. Trying to take the other time of Tim Burke now. He's going to fall outside of that time by just a bit. And right behind his teammate Benedikt Doll. So the Germans are first, fifth, and sixth. First, third, fifth, and sixth. Right now, it's a German kind of day in Khanty-Mansiysk so far after prone shooting. Tarja Boo now with a miss from the prone position. Already outside the time of Pfeiffer. Approaching the time of Roster-Guyevs. Needs to be perfect. And he's got another miss. A Norwegian hangover in Khanty-Mansiysk. 3 penalties for Tarja Boo. That will not figure in to today's competition. It's all Germany up top the leaderboard. All 4 Germans in the top 6. Landertinger to the line. That'll be the time to beat, 24:46.8. We'll find out very shortly how good a time that was. He was 11.7 seconds back after the standing shoot to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer's on course, as is Doll, Burke, and Semenov, and Roster-Guyevs. Now the shooting of Schemp, sitting in third after prone. Looks like he's picked up his skiing as he's got a lot of time. Bjorn Dahlen shooting from the standing position. He's got a miss already. The Norwegian's not having a good day in Khanty-Mansiysk. As Schemp is perfect, 10 for 10. Will he take the lead over Pfeiffer? It looks like Schemp has upped the ski speed in lap 2, and it looks like he's going to do it. Germany can go 1-2 at the finish. Slepov comes across the line, 1:21 back of Landertinger, Doroschka in 4th. But waiting for the time check of Schemp. Tim Burke in 2nd at the moment, 24.4 seconds back of Landertinger with a miss. Schemp takes the lead, 16.0 seconds over Arne Pfeiffer. So it's Germany, Austria after shooting 2. Julian Eberhard with the fastest time at the 1.8 kilometer time check at the moment, coming in to shoot from the prone position. You can see how fast his time is. He's laying down to shoot at 7:50, the fastest we've seen anybody lay down to shoot. Now, Eberhard is a very fast skier, but a really unsteady shooter. Just 72% from the prone position for the season, 64 from standing. He's 4 for 4 though. Julian Eberhard will take the lead by a resounding amount of time. Pfeiffer's time, 8:26. Eberhard, 7.7 seconds in the lead. Now can he hold it together? So psychological for Eberhard. Was 4th in Canmore, his best finish of his career. Could he make it better today? Austria leads after prone. Doronichev to the finish with 2 mistakes from the prone position. And he will not figure into the podium as he comes across the line, currently in 4th position, 1 minute and 25 back. And that's still with Eberhard and Schemp out on course. Now, the moment of truth. Martin Fourcade, not as fast as Eberhard. Oh, and a miss for Fourcade. All the heroes are missing. For 2 misses for Fourcade. He will be beatable today. 3 misses for Martin Fourcade. That is game over before the game has even begun. Benedikt Doll comes across the line in 3rd, 35.2 seconds back at the finish. Burke still in 2nd to Landertinger at 24.4 seconds back. Andre Moravec with a miss from prone. He has another from standing, and he will not figure into it. Sergei Semenov now at the finish. Into 4th, 52.9 seconds back. Then Roster-Guyevs. Roster-Guyevs was in 4th after prone, or after standing. Now Johannes Tingesbø, he had a miss prone. It's perfect standing, but he's not going to take the lead with that performance. At the finish, Serafin Wiesner 2.215 back. Roster-Guyevs into 4th position. So Roster-Guyevs dying hard in the final loop. Tim Burke, on the other hand, putting on the jets in the final loop, sits in 2nd to Landertinger, ahead of both Doll and Roster-Guyevs. So at the finish, it's Austria, Landertinger in 1st. 24.4 seconds up on Burke from the United States, then Dole with a miss as well at 35.2 back, and Rosterguyev's at 38.6 back with a miss. Only clean shooter in the finish is Londertinger. Number 61 leaving the start. That's Rene Shanka of Estonia. And number 62, Jean-Guillaume Beatry, with good form, may figure into the top of the podium. He didn't get a lot of success at the Oslo World Championships. And now the time of Arne Pfeiffer at the finish. 24:46, the time to beat a Londertinger. Both athletes are clean, and Pfeiffer's going to take the lead by 5.2 seconds. Burke down into third now. But remember, Simon Schempp is a whopping 16 seconds up on Pfeiffer after the standing shoot. Watch for the 8.4 kilometer time check, as Pfeiffer will watch for the time of his teammate Schempp. But back to shooting two now. Shapulin. $16.54 the time to beat. He's already outside that time and he hasn't even taken a shot. Already out of the top four. It will not be a Russian kind of day in Khanty-Mansiysk. It's all Germany right now. Another miss for Shapulin to add insult to injury. And these athletes need to get themselves back in position for the pursuit tomorrow. Right now, the pursuit standings are heavily in favor of the Germans and Austrians. Canton-Fillon-Maillet lead from the prone position, but way outside the time of Schempp already. The World Championship success is not transferring to Khanty-Mansiysk, as all the favorites and the medal winners from Oslo are having trouble today. Maxime Svetkov now trying to keep Russia in it, but he's already outside the time of the leaders. And it makes you wonder, as Svetkov misses twice, if perhaps the skis are off for the Russians. Perhaps the pressure of Khanty-Mansiysk. Rico Gross not liking what he's seeing as the Russian head coach looks on. Not a lot of good news to report. No Russians in the top 10 at the moment at any time check after shooting. While Germany's been stellar all day, they look to Eric Laser now to keep the trend going. Laser now. He was perfect from the prone position. His time is good. He's inside the time of Schempp. He probably won't overtake Schempp, but has a chance at Pfeiffer, but it's got to be fast and it's got to be clean. Can the Germans sweep the podium? Laser trying to help with that effort, but he's resettling, taking his time. Outside the time of Schempp now for the lead. Going to fall outside the time of Pfeiffer, even clean. Perfect 10 for 10, another great shooting performance by the Germans. Right now the top three Germans are perfect. Only one miss from the German skiers in the finish as Benedikt Dole has the single miss for the Germans. Laser trying to get in front of Londertinger. He's going to fall just outside that time, I think. But still with a shot at the podium. Laser just a second, 9/10 of a second to the podium for Eric Laser to sweep the podium for the Germans. Dominik Windisch outside the time of the top three, but a good shooting performance. He can really light it up in the last loop, but he misses that 10th shot. Schempp in the background, bib 21, coming to the finish. Time to beat 24:41.6, and he does it easily by a penalty loop. He could afford a miss and still take the lead. Schempp leads for Germany. It's Germany, Austria at the finish. And Schempp is the leader. Pfeiffer second, Londertinger third. Burke continues to hang on to fourth at the finish line. So Tim Burke will not get on the podium today, despite a miss. a great ski performance for the American, out-skiing Benedikt Doll, which is not the norm this season. Doll very fast on the skis, but look, Germany, 3 in the top 5, and Laser's clean and out on the course still. Laser not the fastest of skiers. I wouldn't expect him to catch Pfeiffer or Schemp, but Landertinger's a possibility. Really no charges from behind for Laser. Roster Guyevs is 24 seconds slower than Laser at the moment. And Laser is, just as I said, 9/10 of a second back to Landertinger for the bronze medal spot. Simon Desteo already outside the time of Schemp. And there's a miss. The French, the Norwegians, the medal winners from Oslo, call it a hangover, call it what you will. Julien Eberhard now with a chance to win his first ever World Cup. He's 3 for 3. He's 4 for 4. Eberhard, perfect! Unbelievable! Julien Eberhard shut his mind off and will take the lead of the Biathlon World Cup after 2 shooting stages. Bjorn Dahlen, 2 minutes and 5 seconds back, but Julien Eberhard, the story of the day. Can he overtake Schemp? He's so fast. He's just 1.9 seconds in the lead. It's very close. Eberhard is one of the fastest skiers when he's on, and he's on today. Plus, he's done something he's never done. He shot clean in a World Cup. Julien Eberhard leads after 2 shooting stages over Simon Schemp. The two of them are 17.9 seconds clear of Pfeiffer after standing shooting. And now the question is, can anybody else figure in? Martin Fourcade with 3 penalties from prone, no chance. Looking for people like Sean Doherty or Mario Dolder or Yaroslav Sokop from late in the order. Johannes Tingnes Boo, the golden boy of Oslo in the final day, will not be on the podium, but may sneak ahead of Benedikt Doll. And he does. 1 minute back, Johannes Boo with 1 penalty. Soundly outskied by Simon Schemp. The Germans have done a great job with ski preparation and shooting, and their fitness coming into this Khanty-Mansiysk World Cup. Late starter now, number 60. Elizev. Matvey Elizev in his 4th start of the year. And he starts with a miss. Good time. Misses for Elizev. Dmitry Malishko had 3 misses prone. What is wrong with Russia? A 50% shooting performance by Malishko. Vladimir Drachev in the background, watching his team suffer. Martin Fourcade. 4 penalties on the day, just 60% shooting. He's over a minute back already before he's left the shooting range. He will not figure into it. Number 78 now to start. Petr Pashchenko. Bib 78 out of 87 starters. Pashchenko getting his first World Cup start of the season. A great opportunity for him to show what he's made of. 25 years of age is Pashchenko. Not a lot of data on him as he gets a experience builder here in Khanty-Mansiysk. Number 45, Alexander Zhirny. Already outside the times of the top 3 before he's taken a shot. Solid shooting for Zhirny. He's clean on the day. Not going to challenge for the podium at this point, but a top 10 is in the cards potentially for him. Zhirny trying to take down the time of Boo. Won't do that. Of Dole. Won't do that either. And falls into 10th spot. 51.7 seconds back. a good start for Journey. Journey, best performance to date, 16th in World Cup competition. Iliev across the line in 23rd, 3 penalties on the day. Right in front of his teammate, Anev. Just too many penalties. Quinton Fillon-Maillet has had a spectacular season, and despite clean shooting, look at Fillon-Maillet's time. He's not even in the top 10 with clean shooting. Fillon-Maillet across the line into 12th position. And Shipulin comes across the line even worse in 25th. The big names are out of it today. Fillon-Maillet ranked 10th, Shipulin ranked 2nd. Well outside of that today. Florian Graf of Germany with a miss. That's okay. Mark Kirchner's feeling pretty good about his team's efforts today. We're waiting now for the times from 8.4 kilometers. Julian Eberhard at 8.4 kilometers now on the final lap, outside the time of Schemp by a half a second. So he's approaching the finish. Eric Laser now trying to get on the podium ahead of Lannertinger, and he's not going to do it. There goes the time of 24:46. Now the time of 25:11, that of Burke in 4th. And Laser should do that comfortably. He'll move into 4th position. Burke will fall to 5th. Perfect shooting. Svetkov into 26th position, 211.1 back. 2 misses on the day. So a great performance by Germany. At the finish, it's Germany in 1st, 2nd, and 4th, Austria in 3rd, and Austria has another threat in Julian Eberhard. Clean shooting for the first time in his career. Famously bad at standing, Eberhard came in, shut his mind off, and let it go. And his reward was perfect shooting. 32 coming to the finish, that's Torstein Stenerson of Sweden. Stenerson trying to move into the top 30. Just 32 starters, he's had 2 penalties on the day. Stenerson laboring a bit across the line. He moves into 29th for the moment. So most of the favorites have either shot poorly or are in on the final lap. Dominic Vindish with a 1 miss on the day, missed his final shot, and he's gonna wonder what could have been if he could get that shot back. He's a minute 14 back. Again, remember the pursuit competition starting tomorrow, the final pursuit of this World Championship season. These athletes trying to position themselves no matter what kind of day they've had. But right now at the finish, it's Germany atop the leaderboard. Simon Schemp and Arne Pfeiffer in 1st and 2nd. Dominic Lannertinger with perfect shooting in 3rd. Laser in 4th. Burke in 5th. Johannes Boo in 6th. That tells you Burke had a good ski performance. He's 9.4 seconds up on Boo with the same misses. Right now, things looking like a solid day for Germany and Austria. The United States pretty happy with Tim Burke in there as well. And here comes Julian Eberhard. 24:19.7 the time to beat. Is he gonna get there? It's close, he does it! Julian Eberhard by 1.1 seconds takes the lead from Simon Schemp. His best ever finish, a 4th place in Canmore. Now it looks like a win for Eberhard. An inspired performance on the shooting range. He trailed by a half a second at 8.4 kilometers and leads in the finish. Simon Destillo now for France. Bib 38. The French a bit wounded today as Destillo with 1 penalty comes across in 15th. So Julian Eberhard of Austria, shooting far better than his 70% average with perfect shooting, 100% hits today for Austria, pushing his teammate Lannertinger to 4th, but Lannertinger won't begrudge Eberhard. Max Davies across the line as well for Canada. Julia Neberhardt, 29 years of age from Saalfeld, Austria, in position to take his first ever IBU Biathlon World Cup win. Number 75, Dmitry Yuzhev, perfect from the prone position. Number 57, Yaroslav Songu, outside the leaders